Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're gonna do the boring and honing on the Honda XL75. This is a small bore. We're going to use a big boring tool to do it. The reason for that is because I can't get into the bore with the 2-inch, half-inch boring bar. So I'm going to get I use this actually on the HS1 90 Twin Yamaha. This is a 3/4 boring head with a 3/4 boring bar. That way I do that because I get the least amount of deflection out of the tool that way. I tried it on the HS1 and it worked great. I didn't have any taper in the bores. You can go back and watch that video. It's boring the Yamaha 90 Twin, I think it is. But pretty much the same thing, only this one's not as small. This one is, see, it's 48 millimeter standard bore, and we're going to go to 4850. The HS1 was 36.5 millimeter, and I believe we went half millimeter over on those two. I really don't remember, but it wasn't very much. But that's the only way that I can do these very small bores unless I put them on the lathe, and it's a lot more setup, takes a lot more time to set them up over there, and you can't see as much. So we're doing it on the lathe, and I've just about got it set up. So I'll bring you over here just so you can see where we're at, finish up the setup, and then we'll get into boring this thing. Should be a pretty straightforward job, but there again, being that it's so small, you won't be able to see a lot, but at least you'll be able to see more with that boring bar than you would with the head going into the cylinder. So let's get started on it. We'll be honing this with a P28 mandrel on the Sun and Hone, and the only thing I could come up with, this is a little different size than I've messed with before, so I had to pick up another mandrel, and the only one I could get was a 2 or a 3 stone mandrel. But you can use this as a 2 stone or a 3 or a 1 stone, either way you want it. A 2 is really what I wanted because this actually sticks out quite a ways. But you can see here I've just left 1 stone out, moved the keeper back. It's already tapped. Sun and thought of everything on this. So we've got this set up, and I bought a used mandrel because these things are, a couple $1,000s if you buy them new. So bought it for I think I give 225 bucks or something like that. But I did put new shoes on it, and I will use the 3 shoes. That way when I come and over and understroke it, I still have the support of the shoes there. I'm just not cutting. So we'll be honing in this area right here. And another thing with this honing machine that I've got, when you're using a 3 stone P28, it makes it messier because this is all sticking out farther, almost to the end of the fluid pan. So I've done this before. I can't remember what I was honing, but I've used the P28s before, and it's really the newer style. But gee whiz, they're expensive. So anyhow, we'll be getting into that once we get it bored. So let's get over there and take care of that first. Okay, I just wanted to show you the boring head again, just a comparison here. Even when I do if I'm using the 2-inch head where I can go into the bore of the cylinder, I'm still using a very rigid honing tool. This is a 3/4, and it's actually set up on two studs here that go into the bottom, just like that. So even even when using that, I would use that more rigid. These are made by Mesa Tool. I've had several people ask me about them. But if you weren't using that tool, you'd be using a 1/2-inch boring bar on this. So this is the difference right there. So you're using that instead of that. So the reason I'm using the 3/4 head is so I can use a 3/4 bar so that I can get in here. The boring head never goes in. You've got to have one long enough to get through the bore, which this one I'm sure is. I'm pretty sure anyway. I've measured it, so we're going to be close, and the reason for that is because of our setup here. These are setting up, plus I've got a aluminum spacer underneath it to protect the head or the cylinder. So you've got to keep that in mind also, and you've also got to watch these. I think I'm all right, but I won't know for sure until I get the boring head installed in the mill. So there's a lot of things to look at and consider when you're doing, different bores. This is how I have to do the smaller ones. And like I said, I can do them in the lathe, but the setup is a lot more time consuming than just this. So, I kind of work with what works for me, and this works for me. So let's go on and see how true we are, and we'll finish up truing this thing. Okay guys, thanks a lot. Don't forget the thumbs up. Okay, we're pretty close. Ah, that's good. We're going to leave it right there. Go ahead and get the test indicator out, and we'll see if we can, if we need to move it any. That looks real good. Okay, we're zeroed out on the back side. Zeroed out here. Zeroed out in front. And zeroed out on the left. And I just want to show you, this is a 15 thousandths dial indicator, or indicator rather. And see it, I know that I'm right in the middle of the travel because I've got about 6 thousandths here that it bottoms out at. So these are really touchy. You've got to be very close to use them. Like I say, this one has 15 thousandths of travel, and that's it. But we're looking real good, so we'll get the boring head in. I've gone ahead and I've locked my Y and X axis, and we'll come up here and zero everything out so that we can get back to 0 if we need to. Go ahead and lower it down. And remove the indicator and the collet we used for the getting us started coaxial indicator, I believe that's what they call them. Okay, we got to lower it down. We got a lot of length here. I can usually get that in here. Everything's good and clean. All right, where's the key? There it is. And I've got to get this insert out and get a cast iron insert in. Okay, we've got our, I mean, it works better on cast iron for me. It is compatible with some steels and other things, but it's essentially its main job is cast iron, so that's why I use them, and they seem to work very well for me. For you that wonder what they are, this is a TPG B 321. So that's if you go, I usually get my inserts from MSC, and their number is 112369109. Okay, let's take a look at this. I think we've got it kind of how we want it. Here, you hear it's got a little cut on the back side here, nothing anywhere else. And then as I go down, as I get to the bottom, there's no cut back on the back side where it was up here, and now it's around on the front side. So we've got a little wear as far as this side is worn, and on the bottom it's the back side. So that should straighten that out pretty quick, I think. Nothing up here. And then I go down to the bottom and it's there. And as I go to the back side, nothing. Okay, so it's got some unique wear. I think this is more towards the 4-stroke area than the 2-stroke, the way this is seems to be worn. So we're going to take the first cut through and see where we're at. Okay, let's see here. See how we go. Just trying to establish the wear pattern right now, so it may not cut anything really until we get to the bottom. Well, I can see it's doing a little bit. Just by the time you get down to where the rings are, we're doing just a little on the front here. But I think we're already done with it. And I think what you'll see is when we get all the way through, then we'll have, at the very bottom, we'll have some cut there. So this is what we're straightening out the bore at this point. Still going down the first time. I haven't heard any more cutting, just a little bit at the top. And something I want to point out too is that when you're boring like this with the boring bar like this one, you want to take very light cuts. Even though it's a heavy-duty boring bar and boring head, you don't want to take too much. Just take your time at it and get through it and get it done right. I think we're going to have some cut at the very bottom on the front, but nothing yet. And we're probably inch and a half from the bottom. Just started cutting some. I think you can see the material coming down here on the table right now on the front side. It's not going to cut any on the back, I don't think. But well, it might. I think it might. But that's going to tell us that there's very little wear at the bottom. And all the wear, of course, is on your stroke, where the you know, the piston actually has head space. From the head space area up to the top is where your wear is going to be, of course, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it's hard to see it, but there's a little bit all the way around, I think, on the bottom there. And you see there that we've got plenty of clearance on our boring head. That's something you always want to make sure of. And I've got it set so it can't go below here. It can't even get close to it. It'll shut off automatically by using the adjustment here. Okay, after the first trip through, you can see right here where we hit just a little bit. That's just about where the top of the rings are. And then we didn't cut anything else until we get down to almost the bottom here. And it's just a very small area at the bottom. So we're going to go another 2 thousandths, go back through, and you should be able to see a lot more of what the wear area is now. Yeah, it looks like it's cutting at the very top there now. So hopefully it will be a pretty uniform cut all the way down. We always like to see that if we can. Yeah, it looks like it's cutting the heaviest on the top, on the back, and I think you'll see at the bottom it'll be cutting the heaviest still at the front. So this should straighten that bore out. Okay, just finished that cut through. And I think you can see that we cut on the top here down to about here, and over on the left side about the same place, and same on the right, but actually it started there. This has not been cut up here yet, just down from right here. This hadn't been cut from the top down. It started cutting here, and you can see on the back side at the top, yeah, just not, it hadn't started cutting yet. But down at the bottom, we're weak from right here down to the bottom, but we're cutting on the back side all the way down except here at the very top. So I think we're pretty centered. And I just want to show you on the piston, it's really pretty much like a two-stroke is as far as the measurement goes. About 1889 there, and we get up to the bottom and about 1907. So we're looking at what, close to 18 thousandths, I think. So there's quite a bit of difference between the top and the skirt. And we're just going to take a look here. We got a long way to go, but I just want to look. Yeah, it's just entering the, it's not even down to the first ringland. So we've got a long way to go, and we should be able to clean this barrel all the way up. Two more. Okay, that's all the way around. That's cutting all the way. Still, I'm sure there's going to be some down in the middle there that's not going to clean up yet this time. What's really nice about this piston is the oil ring is a three-piece instead of that one cast iron one with the holes in it that is so delicate. So this is built more like a car. There's a little bit still right here at the top that's not cutting, but below it, it is. It looks like the majority of everything is cutting all the way around right now. Looks like it's almost cleaning up. We'll be real close to it. You know, the half millimeter or 0.5 millimeter is it's just 20 thousandths, so it's not a lot coming out. But I'm always glad to see that it's going to, that size, the piston you selected is going to clean up. Okay, just look right down at the very bottom there. There's just a little bit right down here, from right about here to right about here at the very bottom. It's really hard to see. Maybe that helps. But I think that's it. Maybe just a little bit right here. There's some dark areas in here, probably from the little bit of rust that had formed in there. I have a feeling most of those will go away. There is right here, all the way to about here. Still needs to clean up, but everything's going to, and it's looking real good at this point. A lot different without all those holes in there, right? Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to do some measuring. I think we're getting close. Okay, we've got 13 thousandths. So I just put in another 3. So we'll see what that does. That I think is about as much as I want to put in at a time with this boring bar. So we'll just take our time. I don't have any ports for you to look in. Like we're all cleaned up. Okay, we're still not going in. So I'd say we've got a few thousandths yet here. Okay, we're at 1.902. We're going to 1.908, so 6 thousandths. That'll be before the cylinder is the same size as the piston, so we'll take another 2. And this should be the last trip. And we'll start the hone. Shouldn't take very long. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Okay, I think we're done. Done with the bore anyway. Okay, 1.907, and the piston is 1.908. So we're thousandths away from this sliding through there, and we've got to have 2 thousandths clearance according to the Wiseco box. So we'll get this out of here now, and we'll get over to the sun and hone and finish it up. Nice and clean. Looks like it's done a good job for us. Okay. Okay, we're just to the same size as the cylinder, I believe, or the piston rather. Looks like we're about 3/10,000ths over. Yep. 3/10,000ths over, and we're shooting for 2. See how far these stick out? Just pulling the cylinder off, you get a lot of oil coming down here. I'd rather have the 2 stone mandrels for this anyway. I'm sure these are better for certain things. Okay, 2/1000ths. I'm gonna let it cool off just a little bit. I'll check it with my micrometer. Two thousandths. Remember the piston? 908. One 908. And 10. So I think that's good enough. That's what the Wiseco wants, so that's what we're going to get. Okay guys, thanks a lot. Don't forget the thumbs up. Those are where my butt tile bore gauge goes in. Those vertical scratches there. Be gone in 5 seconds when it starts. Okay guys, there you have it. The XL 75 board and pretty much ready to go. I need to get some sandpaper right there. I better do it before I forget about it. And no ports to mess with. Yeah, that's a lot easier than the 2-strokes. Still just as critical as far as your clearance goes. And again, the clearance is 2/1000ths on this one. If you are using a OEM piston, it's like a 1/2 thou to 1.5 thou for your clearance. Just check the book. But that's a cute little piston. And we've got the 3-piece rings for the oil ring. Okay, so you've got this piece here that's going to go in, and then this one is going to go in away from the gap, and then this one will go in over here away from the gap the opposite direction. Those are just like a car, or most cars. And then we've got the, I'll have to look for sure, but I see the writing on this one. And I believe I see it there. So the writing goes up, and I'll have to look, but I'm sure that the shiny piston ring is the top one. I just about bet. Let me grab some instructions here and I'll tell you. Okay, and to beat all that, they've stupid proofed the rings. See, that one there will go in this one, but it won't go in the top one. And that one will go in the top one, but it's really loose in the second one. So they've made it so you can't mess it up, hopefully. And they've got a bevel. Let's see, the top ring got a bevel on the inside, and the second ring has got a bevel on the inside. The top ring bevel goes up, the bottom or the second ring bevel goes down. Okay, on your end gap, it's the same as the 2 cycles. They're wanting 4/1000ths per inch of bore, and this one here is right at 2 inch. It's just a little under, so should be about 8. I've got a tight 8, so I think that's good on that one. And a little bit not as tight, but it's still got some drag on it. So I'm going to say that those are good. You don't have to check the the rails. They say that they should have about 10 thousandths when you put them in, but see, the oil rails may be installed without modifying the end gap. The gap should be a minimum of 10 thousandths. We can do that, check, by just sticking it in there, same way. Oh, it's a lot more than that. Yeah. So you don't need to worry about those. Yeah, no sweat. And just like the two-stroke pistons, you get a set of keepers and a pin. And of course these don't have an upper bearing, so we should be good to go. Okay guys, there you have it. I think that's it's about all we need to do to this one. I'll go ahead and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and we'll clean it good, and then take it and clean it with ATF for the final clean. And we'll pack this up until we get ready to build it. We've still got the head that we need to check the valve guides on and do whatever we need to do. We'll check the spring pressure. We'll check, see if we need to recut the valves, or we can just lap them. Normally just lapping them is good enough, and it's been my experience and some others that I've followed that they don't usually have guide problems, but they are available if we need them. But I've got my little hole gauges there so I can check the guide from one end to the other. Okay guys, there you have it. We've got our cylinder board and fitted for the piston, and we've got the camshaft portion in the head all lined up, and all we've got now to do is to check the valves, springs, guides, all that stuff, and we'll probably be doing that the next time that you see this project. But I feel good about what we've done. It's looking up. I don't care how much people are going to talk about the lower end. I ain't doing it. I'm going to put it together. We're going to see if we can get it running. And down the road, if we have to do that, then we'll do it. But I just don't see the need at this point. We'll get it running, see if we got any noise or anything, but just not going there right now. We've got a lot to do to that bike. We got a lot to do to several bikes, and it's everything is in its line, and everything comes up as it comes up. So we'll take care of it. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.